Hello, this is Siobhan Bogues, founder of the LighthouseCentre in Belfast. I help people to find healing, love and joy, and I do that in two different ways. Firstly, by creating a space, a physical space in the LighthouseCentre in Belfast where other teachers and healers can come and work with people in Ireland to share their gifts. I also work one-to-one and with groups of people, teaching a kind of inner yoga. So I teach people to help clear up some of the mess and gunk that might gather up in here, because almost magically, as we clear up our inside world like that, our outside world begins to change and transform. And so today I'm here to offer you a challenge. So I'd like to ask you just to give me the next 3-4 minutes to listen to what I have to say and to see whether or not this is a challenge that you would like to take on board for 2015. Many of you will know that for the last 4 or 5 months I've been living with what could have been a fairly devastating health challenge. And believe me, as a spiritual teacher, living with this challenge has taught me more than any amount of books or workshops or lessons that I might have taken over the last year about being real and about being true and about actually walking your talk. So a large part of what I've been able to explore over the last few months has been, can I actually practice what I preach? Does the stuff that I teach other people actually help me whenever the proverbial hits the fan? And really one of the phrases that seems to come up most often for me in this whole journey has been the idea of this roller coaster. You know, that life throws highs, throws lows, and does this kind of spiritual work that I've been doing over the last number of years really help me to navigate that. And no time has been truer for that than the last couple of weeks over Christmas. So I had this wonderful Christmas time with my family, a very, very special, precious time. Then the following week I was really blessed to spend New Year's with my friend Iris, an absolutely wonderful friend, who got married to the love of her life, Paul, in Galway. And it was just such a blessing to be with them for almost a whole week in the west of Ireland, and just to watch this love relationship that those two have be celebrated so publicly and so lovingly with so many friends from all across the world. It was a very special time, and I came back to Belfast on the Friday night. On the Saturday morning I became ill and ended up spending the following week in hospital. So this kind of up and down thing was very much part of that season for me this year. While I was in hospital, I began to really think about one of the big teachings that I would share with people is the idea that what you focus on expands. So the more we think about something, the more that we are likely to attract in that kind of thing. And what I've been thinking about while I was in hospital was being sick, being ill, how awful it was, how sorry I felt for myself. I began to think about some other way of just refocusing my thoughts that might happen relatively straightforwardly. And I began then to play with the idea of a bucket list. So you know this idea that we write out 100 things that we want to do before we die. And I began to find that I wanted to post up some of my experiences of drafting the bucket list. I shared it on Facebook, shared it with some friends, and I was absolutely amazed with the kind of feedback that I got from that. People really became quite inspired by it, quite energized by it. People wanted to join in their own bucket list challenge. People wanted to offer to support me to make my challenges come true. And so I really began to think that the idea of a bucket list isn't just for somebody who might just be told that they might kick the bucket sooner than some other people. Everybody should have a bucket list. We all should have a list of the 100 things that we just want to do that would just make our hearts sing. And let's have that to focus on at the times whenever the roller coaster dips a little bit. And so I posted on Facebook one day a couple of weeks ago that the realisation for me from this journey that I've been on over the last couple of months health-wise has been that every moment matters, that life is too precious to waste. Every moment matters, and that this year, 2015, my mantra was going to be every moment matters. And here's where it gets a little bit, even a little bit more strange. That very moment, almost on Facebook, my very good friend Gareth, who lives in Spain, posted an identical mantra for himself. His mother very tragically passed away just around Christmas time. And Gareth posted an almost identical post to mine, the realisation of life is too precious to waste, and we really need to make every moment matter. And so, of course, Gareth and I joined together, and one of the ways that we want to make that mantra a reality this year is to invite 100 people to join us on the Bucket List Challenge, to invite 100 of you to join us in creating a bucket list. The challenge is really simple. Let me just spell it out in 5 or 6 simple steps. Number 1, right now, commit to joining the challenge. To do that, hop over and join our Facebook list, our Facebook group. It is called, I want to get this right, 100 Bucket Lists, 10,000 Dreams. 100 of you, 100 of your dreams on the bucket list. Join that Facebook group. That's your commitment. Number 1, commit. Number 2, create. Go off and create your list. 100 things, small things, big things. If you hop over to the Facebook group, you'll see the beginning of my list. I want to teach in the United States of America this year, a couple of workshops. I want to write a bestseller, and I also want to learn how to make pavlova like my friend Angela. I've always said I want to learn that, and I've never done it, but it's on my bucket list. So 100 things, small, big. I also want to get voice coaching and learn how to sing a song and surprise all the people over the years who said I couldn't sing at an event. So anyway, that's just some ideas from my list. Your list will be different. So number 1, commit, join the Facebook group. Number 2, create your list. Number 3, share your list. Go on the Facebook group and post your list there so that we can all jump in and help you, support you, cheer you on from the sidelines. And then number 4 will be celebrate. As we tick things off the list in the group, we'll be celebrating that, we'll be supporting each other, we'll be sharing our energy to make it really happen. And then step 5 is nominate, if you wish. If this is kind of inspiring you, but you know there's someone else who should really be in the group, who might want to hear about this, just nominate them below, 2 people, share their names below and pass on the video to them so that they get the chance to join us. So that's it. I hope that 100 of you decide to join us to really make a tangible commitment towards the belief that life is too precious to waste and make every moment matter in 2015.